the first learner that I would like to present is Emmanuella, who is going to present her challenge solution from the Activism Through the Arts challenge that she worked on in term 2, which is the previous term. And I'm not going to say anything else about it other than the name Unmute, which is very interesting and very intriguing. So Emmanuella, over to you. And would you like to just present yourself briefly as well, who you are and where you are in the world?
Thank you. I was curious.
Hi, my name is Emmanuella Iyayi. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Nigeria, and I'll be presenting my solution presentation on Mute. To give you a little background about what Unmute is, it's a social media platform I designed to deal with the toxic culture of social media. At first, it was a social media platform for activism and dealing with the stigmatization of activism. But I decided to add a little more to it to make it better. I'll share my screen.
I'm still waiting for it to load, Emmanuel. We see it.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we got it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Emmanuella Iyayi. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm the creator of a platform called Unmute. Now, before you picture another trendy social app, let me stop you right there. Unmute is not about clout, it's about care. I built it because social media today, while powerful, is draining. It silences people. It pressures us to perform, not express. It's hurting our mental and even physical wellness. And a lot of us are tired. So I decided to do something about it. Now, imagine this. A young 16-year-old girl, she just joined Instagram and she decides to post a picture of her face. She feels confident enough to post a picture of her face on the internet. And a bunch of people come into her comments telling her horrible things like, "You're ugly, you should have stayed anonymous." And this is just one of the many cases of the toxic culture of social media. So, what is the problem with social media today? We have toxic content and constant comparison, especially with the bodies of people. You see people calling Instagram models with unreal bodies, and then they silence real conversations. You can't talk about controversial topics on the internet because we're all silenced there. We prioritize trends over truth, and it impacts our mental and physical health. So, how does this play into the stigmatization of activism, which was originally my challenge? So, the stigmatization of activism occurs when activists are labeled as troublemakers, extremists, or threats to the status quo, often to discredit their efforts for social change. The word stigma originates from ancient Greek, where it referred to a physical mark or brand used to disgrace individuals, later evolving to mean social disapproval or disgrace. My problem statement: online spaces are becoming toxic. People are being silenced, judged, or cancelled for expressing honest opinions, emotions, or ideas. This culture discourages authenticity, stifles creativity, and makes social media unsafe for real conversations. Some key statistics I gathered for this project was activists are often seen as extreme, reducing public support for their causes. 53% of US adults engage in activism online, but many view it as performative or insincere. 15% of Gen Z adults in the US have protested but face stereotypes that diminish their impact. And 53% of young adults admit to feeling like they can't control how much they use social media. 13% of kids aged 12 to 17 report depression and 32% report anxiety. 25% of 18 to 25-year-olds report mental illness. These age groups report high usage of social media. by gap analysis. So the current state we are in right now is that social media often rewards negativity, comparison, and outrage, leaving users feeling drained, silenced, or misunderstood. The gap. So toxic algorithms and online culture have created a disconnect between people's real needs and the platforms they use every day. So the desired state is a digital space where people feel safe to express themselves, find support, and drive impact without toxicity or judgment. The action plan to create a platform that centers wellness, real conversation, and community action, designed to uplift, connect, and empower its users. So, my solution statement: to change the toxic culture of social media, we need safer, more intentional platforms where people can speak, grow, and connect without fear. That's why I built Unmute. To fix toxic social media spaces, we need safe spaces for people to express themselves honestly. So that's why I created Unmute, a platform for healthier conversations, meaningful activism, and a supportive community. Here are some of the app features. Some of the app features include live streaming and chat, communities and groups, AI powered content creation, a personalized feed, audio and video calls, creative studio and dashboard, real time notifications, profile customization, a mental health and self care hub, physical wellness resources, e.g., live sessions and counseling. So, what are some skills I gained while working on this project? Some skills I gained by working on this project include full stack development, the front end and back end of the app, the UI UX design, problem solving, project management, critical thinking, resilience, and adaptability. Because I've struggled a lot over the course of creating this project with many errors, power supply, Wi Fi. So, you get the idea. So, as I come close to the end of my presentation, I want us to know that if social media is silencing us, it's time we unmute. Thank you so much for listening. I'll share a preview of the platform. So here is a preview of what the feed looks like on the platform. You can check in with yourself to reflect and see how you're feeling each day. I'm just gonna show you how that works. So if your mood is low or your mood is higher, you can also, yeah, you can do that stuff. You can then go to the wellness tab. This is the reel page. There are no reels at the moment right now. We have the onboarding process where users can join the platform, be onboarded to create their own personalized feed. This is the create page where people can create content, text, images, reels, memes, the notifications page, the wellness page inspired by my mom. She's a counselor, so I created this page mostly for her services. The explore page where you can see a bunch of stuff happening. You have the chat page where you can contact and chat with people. And yeah, so that's a bit of what the app has right now. I'm still working on it and I'm planning to fully launch it on the 18th of April.
Emmanuella, that's amazing. What amazing work you've done there. I love the way that you've found a problem and then you've really applied and thought about it and looked at how widespread this problem is and how you could address it. I think it's a great name as well. I love the punchline that you gave there for talking about social media silencing us, and so it's time to unmute. That was wonderful. What was the best thing you learned whilst working on this project?
The best thing I learned while working on this project is that we need to have these real conversations. We need to go out and think about this, because as I was going on social media. I didn't really think about these things. But then I got affected myself. I struggle a lot with body image issues. So I go on the internet and I see all these people posting images of themselves, how perfect their lives are, how perfect their bodies are. So I thought it's time it's time we talk about this, because if you talk about it on social media, they're just gonna silence you or get your content removed.
Nice. Yeah, it's really, really powerful. And how did you know how to create an app, or is this something that you had to upskill and learn how to do to create this challenge or this challenge solution?
I did originally know how to create an app, but I didn't exactly know how to create a back end. And so I had to learn how to do that. I use Superbase for my backend, where I save my users, save their content, messages, so that when they come back to the app after refreshing, or they can still see their content. And I still had to learn some UI UX design to actually make the platform look the way it looked.
Amazing, amazing skills. Well done. Really, really impressive. Um, Jim, did you want to ask me any questions? Oh, Jim, you're on silence.
Sorry about that. I should have just left it open, but I type really loud. And I'm trying to blow up the YouTube for this. Wow. Emmanuella, that is a beautiful presentation. So unexpectedly simple and yet impact. And Claire's right. That tagline is gold. I love it. I love the idea of it. A couple of questions. You designed this in an app generator or in a full stack web development tool with app characteristics? Which one?
I use a an AI in within a full stack web developing tool. The AI would help me with some errors I get while I do the coding. And then I had to take my files and input it into this app generator so I could get a domain name. I'll probably share the link after I'm done answering questions.
Great, because that leads to my next question. Um, you say this goes live April 19th, and I'm
April
excited.
18th.
Okay, I'm a day off. Um, but you mentioned that your mother is a therapist. How much of her relationship with you inspired this? And then I have a follow-up.
Um, My mother is a very inspirational figure for me in my life. She supported me a lot. She's here with me right now, supporting me still. So, I told you I struggle a lot with body image issues. So, when growing up, my mom never really allowed us to access social media or social platforms, because she wanted to protect us from that toxic culture on the internet. She say, even if you're going to create a social media account, don't use your real picture, don't post any of your real pictures, don't share content like that. Just protect yourself, because there are a lot of predators, a lot of horrible people on the internet, and I don't want you to get exposed to that. And because she gets a lot of people coming in to get counseling from her, talking about how their kids struggle with social media addiction, struggle with phone addiction, and so she didn't want us to get entangled in that.
That's beautiful. And I encourage and slightly demand that you come back at the next gift and show us how diligent you are and what your iterations for this are. And give us some data, good or bad. Data isn't a failure, or failure isn't just failure, it's data, and it makes us better. And I love this app's purpose, its soul. Bravo, well done. But we have to move on. So I'm going to quit asking you the million questions I have for you.
I'm sure we could talk all day about it. It's such a powerful story, and what a powerful message as well, Emmanuel. Very wise words that your mum has shared with you and looking out for you with regards to social media usage.